Hello, welcome to the first video of 2023. My name is Zhong Liang and I'm the remiser. I'm a remiser with Lim and Tan. And today's video is very simple. Basically, I'm going to share with you what I have been doing every day for my clients. And then I'm going to go through with you some of the techniques that I use to identify stocks. And I'm going to go through some stocks that I've highlighted previously and how are they doing going forward. Okay, so very simply, I'm going to share with you on the items on the right hand side of the screen. What you are looking at are the daily emails that I send out to my clients. So you can see the title over there is that I do daily index analysis, and then I highlight some stocks. And inside the emails, like for example, this email today, we would be also knowing what did US perform and how did US perform the night before. Then we look at how the index would perform going forward. So step by step, we step through the market and identify some of the stocks that might potentially be moving and some of the important levels for you to watch out for. Like today, we are going to observe how sets will react at the support level at 272 over here. And then, of course, Singtel is a follow-up post, which I have posted earlier back in March 2023, 24th March to be exact. Okay, so without further ado, let me bring attention to the left-hand side of the screen where we are looking at charts. So basically, the analysis technique is very simple. So I've been using technical analysis for the past 15 years, thereabouts, okay? And we are looking at some simple technical analysis, like for example, when the stocks is about to change its trend. So I follow trend, I do counter trend, I do swing trading. So all kind of tradings I'll be looking at. So you'll be looking at, let's say, for example, city development. So from here, we are looking at potential bottoming of the stocks. Why? Because if the stocks is going on a downtrend, right? Here at this point of the chart, it should be moving back to retest this support level at 702. But the stocks stop short at this point. And going forward, you are looking at a rebound. And this rebound actually break above 729 resistance, which is a break of trend. Why? Because if it's a downtrend, it will be a lower high, lower low, but it doesn't. So here you can see that the counter actually break high. And of course, from this point onwards, we will be looking at a potential change in trend. So we have the first low, we have a higher low. Now we will be staring at a potential higher high around 747 level, which the stocks has went to before it start to pull back. Okay, so why 747? Why did the stocks choose to stop here? Let's go back and see what happened at 747. Now 747, we can see a lot of price action here where the stocks tend to fight around, but I would say that these are not so important going forward, because here it has actually broken. So if this was a clear support level, of course we understand that the 747 will be a resistant because the support has turned resistance, but I don't see a clear support here. So meaning to say 747, there's some other reason. So some other reason could be due to Fibonacci, which I can actually plot out to see whether is there really a Fibonacci resistance here. So let's move this line a little bit. So we can plot out some Fibonacci level over here where we can see the resistance is actually around 753. So the stop short. So it didn't go to 753 and then start to pull back already. So that doesn't matter. So even so, stocks forming new support, new resistance is very common. So we call this as a new minor resistance. So if you were to look forward, what we are looking at is that the city development pullback to test this 729, which was a previous resistance as support and rebounded. So if this stocks is going for an uptrend, then we'll be looking at 747, where this resistance has to be broken in order for it to continue its uptrend towards $7.77 level. So it is very important for city development now to move back to 747. If it doesn't, if it fail and come back to 729, a potential change in trend is on the card. So watch closely. And if you were to go to the list here, you might be seeing a lot of counters every day. And what you want to focus on is Keppel Corp. Keppel Corp has been my mainstay in my email, and we are looking at Keppel Corp since when it was trading at this low. So Keppel Corp was expected to move up to around 553 level. So if you look at the analysis here, is technically if it can close at 548, means that it has a chance to go 553. Now, of course, in the stock market, there's a lot of opportunities, and there's also a lot of people who are doing cautious trading. So those opportunists, they will be buying the stocks early, while those that are waiting for the confirmation, who are careful about the market, will be waiting for confirmation. So why do I say that? Is because some would be preferring to wait at 548, then they take action. Some will be buying way earlier. So depending on your way of trading. But do take note, if you are the kind of traders who are, at times very bullish, and it did not turn out your way, it is very normal. I think you should just take the situation as normal, because winning and losing in the market is so common, and you should look forward for another winning stocks. But in this case, Keppel Corp did not fail us, as we look at Keppel Corp continue to move up from this level. So if you look at the analysis here, we are saying that if Keppel Corp close above 548, then we see the chance to move up higher. So Keppel Corp that day went to as high as 547, but close at it went as high as 550 and close at 547. So we is just one bit below 548, which is still good. And it moved up the next few days to continue higher. So you can see that the price action actually tells us a lot of story. And since then, of course, Keppel Corp has been moving up. We'll be looking at Keppel Corp again, right? If you follow through the email religiously, Keppel Corp again was highlighted on the 12th of April. So on the 12th of April, what we see is that Keppel Corp was forming a chart pattern, what we call the flag pattern. And this flag pattern actually has a price objective towards this, or rather the pennant pattern, so I beg your pardon, the pennant pattern. So the pennant pattern has the price objective of 638. Now, just now I mentioned the wrong counter, which is REX lah. So maybe later on we'll be taking a look at REX. So you'll be looking at 638 as a projected target, and currently we are trading at 611. So let's see whether it can go to our projected target. So did Rex follow Keppel Corp as bullish? In fact, Rex did not have a successful breakout as yet. So you can see it is still consolidating, waiting for the next action. What we are looking at is that if it can stay above 0.181, it will be a good news, especially if you can turn out straight away to hit 193, then a breakout successfully above this level, and then trade beyond 205 will be a good sign for the counter. Okay, then finally, let's talk about Singtel. So I have a lot of counter here, so I will be picking some counters here and there on the weekly video to highlight to you some of the key movement by this counter. So Singtel, in fact, is not the, most favorite of most of the traders, but of course it did form some trading signals for us, like on this particular day. This was on the 29th March. Just now I mentioned 24th, I beg your pardon. So let me change. Let me change to 29. So 29, we saw there was an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So inverse head and shoulder pattern is one of the technical analysis technique. Okay, more advanced. Just now, City Development, I used the simple higher high, higher low technique. Okay, and this Singtel was inverse head and shoulder pattern. So the projected target was 257. So we are looking at the Singtel movement over here is pretty nice. As you can see, after it broke out from this inverse head and shoulder, it is moving towards this resistance at 257. Currently, it's trading at 253, 254, so it's just 3 bit away. So let's see whether it can hit 257 today. Now, touching on city development again, sorry, I backtrack a bit because just now I did not highlight city development in the email, where the email has been looking at for city development. So you can see city development on the 24th of March. Just now, based on the technique that I mentioned, why do I highlight city development? You can see here, I can see that there might be a potential, right, the break of this downtrend. So here, this is where I highlighted that, or this might be the bottom, but we'll be looking at above 729 with strong volume, because once it breaks out from this strong volume, then this reason with strong volume, then we can see the change of trend, as what I explained earlier. Okay, so these are what you are getting every day. And I also have a Telegram group for my clients. So this is a ZL Zhongnang Telegram group, which I'm going to highlight charts every day. When I see opportunity, I'm going to highlight it for you to get the first-hand information. Like, for example, those who like to do breakout trade on Keppel Corp. See Keppel Corp breaking out on during the intraday yesterday. So if you have gotten at $6, now you're already in the profit. And of course, we'll be waiting for some opportunities like Parkway Live read. If you read the chart, you will be able to catch some trading opportunity. Okay, so this will be my first weekly video. So I'll see you next week. Thank you and goodbye.